Hello everybody, we are back here on Way of the Hunter, and today we are going to be taking our first look at one of the private land areas on the map. Now, as some of you may know if you have watched the live stream that we did yesterday, we have started a brand new game on Way of the Hunter. I put it up to a poll for you guys to decide whether or not we would continue our save from early access or if we would start a brand new one and use all of the knowledge that we gained from early access to hopefully make some insane herds and do it a little bit more efficiently than what we did during early access, considering for the first little bit of that series, we didn't really know too much about what we needed to take to better our herds, and now that we've kind of got a good idea of that, we decided to start a new one, and so we will be doing everything from scratch, and because of that, I've got a lot of the map to explore, as well as tons of cash to gain in order to purchase all of the gear again, and taxidermize some trophies. Now, as of now, we do have one trophy we managed to get on live stream, which was a 4-star mule deer, and the very last thing that we did during that stream was unlock this location, the Diamond Drill, or Diamond Run. Yeah, it's Diamond Drill. But this location has always been insane for mule deer and whitetail, so we've decided to go here today for this video and see if we can find something crazy. And then at the very end, we are going to take a look at one of the bucks that you guys saw in the intro to this video, because he is a 3-star adult, and he's got a very high potential of being a giant once he reaches his maximum size possible for those genetics, or whatever genetics he may be. Because just from the look that we got at him, he seems to be an absolute giant. With him being 3 stars at the adult stage, I can only imagine he's got a pretty high chance of making 5 stars if we let him grow. And he already grew once during the live stream, and his rack completely changed, which was really cool to see. And we're hoping that it will change once again, and that we will be able to see him as a 4 or 5 star during this video. Now, because we restarted our game from scratch, there's a lot of perks that we don't have access to as of now, and a lot of those perks are ones that are very useful, with probably the most useful and the one that I miss the most being the ability to use the Hunter Sense while we're moving. As of now, we have to completely stop in order to use it because we reset our account and basically have to work through all of the achievements once again to unlock these perks. But that right there is a decent looking mule deer. I did see a 2-star adult in here, and I also saw a 1-star mature somewhere as well that I'd like to take down. However, he's not really giving us a shot at the moment, so we might just take this 1-star adult, as that one probably is not anything too special. And that is going to be a solid hit on that guy. He should go down pretty quickly. We do have a few whitetail deer up here as well, and 2 of these are 2-star adults, which are ones we will definitely want to leave, as those could end up being 4 or even 5 stars if we're lucky. And there is a 1-star adult in this group as well, though, so we will try to take that one down, provided we can remember which one it is, and it looks like it's this guy right here. We will see if they fix the hitboxes on the trees. I badly want to see if I can shoot alongside the trees now, because in early access that was a very bad idea. We shall see if anything has changed with the Day 1 update. And though that wasn't super close to the tree, we did kind of sneak it past one of these limbs, so I think we'll be okay. They had mentioned to me that there was a little bit of tweaking done to the trees, but I'm not 100% sure if that was implemented with this patch or if it's going to be the next update. However, they have talked about the fact that they are working on it, which is good. Definitely something that I want to see fixed. So there is our mule deer buck. This guy was probably the least impressive of the 2 that we just took down, and also most likely has the worst genetics of the bunch. And, well, actually, 70% is not bad, but it's definitely not something that's going to grow to be a 5-star, so still a fine one to take down. Well, there's our whitetail buck, and we can kind of tell by the coloration of the fur that this guy is probably younger when it comes to the adult stage. And I'm wondering if we made a bad decision with this one as well because of that. Actually, this one's roughly the same as that mule deer, around 70%, so again, not one that we would have necessarily had grow into anything giant, so I'm okay with taking that one down as well. So we have moved down the river a little bit, and I have managed to spot another herd of whitetail deer. There doesn't really seem to be anything too impressive in this grouping, though there is a 1-star adult that we might want to take down, though at this point, I'm thinking that we'll start to let some of those live after those first 2 shots being kind of on the upper half of the genetics, and that's a 3-star adult right there. Okay, that is a buck that we are going to want to watch grow. Once again, this is the second 3-star adult that we currently have on our map. One of them we ended up finding during the live stream yesterday, and it has slowly grown and become even larger of a level 3 adult. And today, at the end of this video, we're going to see if it has grown even further, like I was mentioning. But now we've got ourselves another 3-star adult to keep an eye on. This could eventually become an absolute giant. So in this situation, I think what we're going to do is take out this 1-star adult, as he definitely doesn't have as high of genetics as that 3-star does. We'll see if maybe we can get a shot on him. And I don't know why, but ever since the update, I feel like this scope looks a little bit different. It's almost like tinted, and I can't figure out why. I can't tell if that was part of the update, or maybe they wanted to balance it a little bit more since this is considered a medium quality lens. So maybe that's what they wanted to do here. Let's take a look at it as, oh, we actually can't. But yeah, this is the 14X, and it really seems like there is a bit of extra tinting compared to what there was in early access, at least with this day 1 patch that they put out. Something definitely changed with it, and I don't know if I like it. Well, it seems like we got a good neck shot into that guy. That is going to save us a lot of tracking, which is amazing. I've been getting a little bit better at hitting these neck shots on these deer, and it has saved me quite a bit of time, as with the neck shots, they almost instantly drop every single time, which is really good, especially if you manage to hit the spine. Well, that right there looks to be a pretty average size 1-star adult buck. I'm going to assume that this one has pretty average genetics, as it does not seem to be super large, but at the same time, he's not tiny either, and at 53%, yeah, this one was definitely one we needed to get down. I think as of now, this is probably the best decision we've made on any of the deer that we've shot today, as this guy's genetics were absolutely terrible. So that is a good thing to get out of that herd, because everything else looked to be pretty large. There was that 3-star adult, and then I also noticed 2 1-star young bucks that had virtually the same antler size as this guy here. Well, we found a herd of mule deer bedded by the water, and it seems like this guy is actually a pretty decent 2-star mature. This seems to be another one of those deer that we will want to take down, as he probably isn't going to reach anything too crazy for his max potential. Let's just get a shot into him, as it is a very good-looking mule deer, and that guy is so wonky that, honestly, I just want him on my wall. That thing looks absolutely incredible for being just a 2-star mature, and that appears to have been a spine shot, which I actually didn't intend to hit him in the spine. I don't know if maybe he took a step forward and got onto a slope and kind of angled downward, or if I pulled up, but we definitely hit higher than what I intended, and honestly, it kind of worked out in our favor. Yeah, that right there is a lot of damage. That poor thing did not stand a single chance. Going down pretty much immediately, and this is probably one of the cooler small mule deer that we have seen ever since we started playing this game. It's not too often that we end up finding a mule deer that's this wonky and strange looking, and honestly, I kind of like it. But that guy was a 69.79% genetics, and indeed another one that we needed to get out of that herd, as this is far from being good genetics. Though it still is a very cool mule deer, and I'm actually kind of curious what it could have reached if it had continued to grow. Would it have continued to get bigger and stayed as wonky as it is here? It's hard to say, but regardless, we've got ourselves a cool mule deer to put in the trophy lodge, at least until we replace it with something better. Well, with us having finished hunting that section of the river, I think it's time we head over to one of my other favorite locations, which is clear over here. This lake and river that's connected to it are actually very good for whitetail and mule deer. By far one of the most insane places on the entire reserve, and that's another reason why this private land piece right here is definitely worth doing the landowner's missions to get access to. It's got some of the best whitetail and mule deer hunting in the entire game, and this part over here has been one of my most consistent places for hunting them. And we're going to go ahead and head over there now and see if we can grab this campsite real quickly, and then head down and check them out to see if there's anything good there. Well, we made it to the campsite, and I gotta say, this is one of my favorite locations on all of Nez Perce Valley. This part of the map is just so beautiful, and not only is it beautiful, but it houses some of the largest whitetail and mule deer bucks on the entire map, and that was very apparent when the second that we got here we started seeing absolute giants during early access. But the question is, now that we have restarted our game and decided to do everything from scratch with the knowledge that we gained from early access, will we have just as good of luck with our first check at this lake and the river below it? It's hard to say, but I'm hoping we will find at least something of decent size, and maybe if we're lucky we'll end up finding a 5-star or possibly be one of the first people to find a rare, as I don't think anybody has found one as of the time of recording this video, which is kind of crazy that they're that uncommon. Well, we officially ran into our first herd of deer in the Diamond Drill region, and it looks like there is a couple 1-star adults that are possible targets provided we don't see anything that is a better option. And as of now, it's looking like they are probably the only ones that we can really take out. I don't see too much else here, besides a few does, so I think we will end up taking down probably that adult right there, and just hope that it is going to be the right decision. Though, the more that I look at it, it might be better to take this guy, as his antlers do look much smaller. Now let's see if we can place this shot properly. Looks like we definitely did. Well, there is our buck, and it seems like we're not actually going to be able to look at the rack right now because it is halfway into the earth, but this is definitely the smaller of the two that were there, and considering this was an adult and he's only this large, I doubt his genetics are very good, and yeah, only 61%, so again, we actually made a pretty good decision there, and early on, it is kind of a gamble whether or not you're making the right decision because you don't really know too much about the animals, but the more you play the game, the more you kind of understand what to look for, and I could imagine that if we had just started playing the game, we probably would not have known which one of those 1-star adults to take. But because we had almost 100 hours of experience in the early access portion of this game, we kind of knew which one of these two to take because this guy's rack was much smaller, but they were both 1-star adult males. And because of that, we were able to determine that this guy was most likely the worst of the two when it comes to the genetics, and it definitely looks like he was. So we're going to go ahead and sell him and hopefully find some whitetail deer down the river a little bit more, as that is my primary target for today. Well, that is exactly what we want to see. I don't know if you guys were able to see that, but it briefly flashed 4-star mature. That is exactly what we are looking for. An absolute giant whitetail that could have the potential to grow to a 5-star, provided we give it a little bit more time. Now, we're going to have to get close to this guy and just get a close look at what its fur coloration and whether or not it has a lot of patchiness on the fur, and also check out the rack as well, because that can all determine whether or not this guy is an old buck or a young buck, or I guess there's no such thing as a young mature buck, but I think you guys know what I mean. We can kind of determine whether or not he's at the early stages of mature or the later stages of mature based on the fur and also the antlers. So let's get a little bit closer and see if we can take a look at him. As we get closer, we can definitely tell that that guy is an absolute giant, and I am really starting to think that he might have potential to grow to a 5-star. That one honestly looks like it could become an absolutely massive giant, and I think we're going to risk it and let him hopefully grow into a 5-star monster. With the possibility of him dying, as of with any time that you attempt to grow a giant buck, there's always that chance that he could die before you get to take him. But honestly, I am willing to take that risk considering we have a couple of nice 3-star adults on the map as well. I am a little bit more inclined to risk it with this guy and let him possibly grow to be a giant. We are now heading up to check on that 3-star adult that we ended up finding during the live stream the other day, but on the way, we've got a few whitetail right here, and I think that it would be just completely wrong if we didn't take out at least one of them, considering we need to earn quite a bit of cash, and also we are trying to get quite a bit of animals down for this video, as I know you guys want to see a large variety of each of these animals and all the different racks they can have. That actually seems to be a pretty big 1-star adult, so we're going to leave him, but we're going to take this guy right here, as he does seem to be a much less impressive 1-star adult. You know, he honestly didn't run too far. I think we got a pretty good hit on him, most likely double lung, but it's hard to say if we hit anything else. Seems like it was just a lung shot. We didn't get any arteries or anything like that, so it did take a slightly longer to fully die off, but it really didn't run too far before it bedded down. But this guy actually is kind of a cool-looking little 5x5, though he's not perfectly even. He does have at least the same number of tines on each side, but definitely kind of low on the genetic side, so it's good that we got him down. We actually do have some elk in between us and the whitetail that I'd like to get to, so I'm thinking we're going to take down this 3-star mature bull and hope that he doesn't run directly towards the whitetail, because if I run up there and spook them, he's definitely going right where I don't want him to, but maybe if we take him down from here, he'll actually go in different directions. So let's get a shot right into that guy. And that did look to be a pretty solid one. The question is, will the 7mm Odd 8 actually do enough damage to take him down quickly? It's very hard to say. Well, after that second shot, we got him down, and that is a pretty decent looking 3-star elk, and we have not taken down an elk yet on this game save, so that is pretty cool to see that we finally were able to get one of them. The second shot was definitely much better than the first, as on the first one I kind of used the wrong rifle. This was a much better option to use for them, being the 300 Magnum. 64% genetics, and that guy is a great one to get down. But with this being a failed attempt at trying to find that 3-star adult and seeing if he has matured anymore, I think we will go back and see if we can notice any progress with that 4-star whitetail that we found during this video. Because it has been another 20 or 30 minutes since I saw him, and I'm hoping that a time reset and quick travel over there will have shown at least some improvements with his rack and hopefully his rating as well. You know, time and time again, I am just more and more impressed in the herds that we've been finding, and this is no different, as we do have 2 3-star adult whitetail deer. This is going to be one of the best herds that we have to watch grow, because they're in a very easy to access location, and I am extremely excited to see if one of these ends up growing into a giant. Now, I don't think we're going to get to see them grow to a 5-star in this video, but possibly in one of the future ones, we will check up on these guys and see if they manage to make 5 stars. It really does just impress me like crazy, the size of some of these 3-star adults that we've been seeing on our reserve ever since the restart. I am thinking that this was definitely the right decision to kind of restart and play through this game knowing a little bit more about the genetic system than we did when we first started playing in early access. I think it is going to benefit us in the long run, and I'm already starting to see some of that paying off with some of these giant 3-star adults. We found a couple pretty decent bucks right here as we're headed towards those whitetail deer, and I think this guy right here is a 3-star mature if I'm not mistaken. I did see one, and I'm going to assume it's him, as that is a 2-star adult, and that guy looks a little bit bigger, so let's see if we can maybe squeeze a heart shot in there. I think it's definitely possible. Yeah, it looks like we definitely got the heart on that shot, which is really nice to see. We're starting to get a little bit better with the heart and neck shots, and that's going to save us a ton of tracking time in the future. This is definitely one of the better bucks that we have taken down today. I do believe that this was the 3-star mature, and yes, it was, so that's a 67% genetics one as well. A good one to take down. This guy was probably nearing the end of his lifespan, so it's good that we ended up getting him before he died. Well, after coming back to one of the herds that had a singular 3-star adult, it's unfortunately become a 3-star mature, and once we get an eye on it again, you guys will see as well, but it's unfortunate to see that it did not go up in rating even after advancing to the mature stage, and I do feel like that is probably a sign that its genetics are not as good as what we had hoped for, so if I can get view on it again, we will go ahead and take it down, as I doubt it's going to become anything too crazy. Yeah, there he is right there. That honestly does not seem to be that impressive of a buck. It's definitely not what we were hoping it would become, so I think let's go ahead and just get it down real quickly and move on to try and take down one of the other giants that we saw from that other herd, as I got a feeling that one of those might become something pretty impressive. There's our 3-star mature buck. This guy is going to be a decent looking deer, though I doubt he had any chance of becoming much larger than what he is now, as he was a 3-star adult and now he's a 3-star mature. He just does not seem like the type of buck that would be able to grow super big, and with 71% genetics, I think we made the right choice here. Doesn't look like he was going to get much larger than this. Well, that is a pretty impressive sight right there. We have already killed one 4-star mule deer since the restart of our account, and, well, I think because of that, we're going to let this guy live and hope that he will grow to be something even larger. As I don't really have any need for a second 4-star, I'd prefer that we get a 5-star if possible, so we're going to give this guy some more time to grow, and hopefully he's going to become a giant. Well, we are officially seeing some progress with one of our big bucks. He is now a 4-star mature, and I don't know if the other one is going to be a 4-star mature as well. As of now, I can only guarantee that one of them is. However, it's kind of looking like we might have multiple. Well, it seems like the other one is a 3-star mature, so I doubt this guy is going to end up making it to 5 stars. However, we're going to spend a little bit more time hunting, and hopefully they will progress to one more stage of their life, and this video is taking much longer to record than I thought it would. As of now, we've been going for almost 3.5 hours, which is quite a long time. And the main reason that I wanted to mention that it has took over 3.5 hours, or almost 3.5 hours, I mean, in order to actually get this video recorded is to kind of put into perspective how long it's taking for these deer to grow. Because I saw a few comments saying stuff like, oh, they grow in 30 minutes to the next stage of their life. Oh, how realistic is that? When in reality, it's not necessarily 30 minutes, and anything that I've said in previous videos is obviously subject to change since this game is so new, and we don't really know a lot about how the systems work in it. And it's definitely not 30 minutes that they end up progressing to another stage. It has took upwards of 2 hours at times to see any difference with these deer, and then other times it seems to be quicker. It really depends, and I can't really put my finger on the exact pace that they do age. It seems very randomized, and I think it's going to be a long time before we know an exact number. Well, that might have been one of the most interesting shots that we've taken all day, as we're on our way to check this guy one more time. At this point, if he has not grown to a 5-star, I think we might have to save that for another video, as I've been recording for almost 4 hours now. But we're gonna go check out this guy and see what we hit, because that guy died in such a weird way. He took a couple steps after the hit, and then went down. Makes me wonder what we ended up hitting with that 300 Magnum. Yeah, that is an impressive amount of blood. Let's take a look at it real quickly. A lot of blood, air bubbles, and time to expire fast. That's a very interesting combination. It looks like we did get double lung and artery with the 300, and that's what did it to him. Wow, that guy went down very quick. 79% genetics, could have probably got to 3-star, maybe even 4-star, but I don't think so, as he was only a 2-star in the mature stage, so I think this guy probably wasn't going to be anything super insane. But a nice little amount of cash, even though we don't get a full hunt rating. But it's kind of cool to see that you can still get 4 stars with a 300 Magnum, as it is a relatively large caliber. Well, after getting a look at all the deer, it seems like we still have a 4-star mature and a 3-star mature buck, though the only one in view now is the 3-star mature. But that means that they have not aged anymore, and I think that we're going to have to just end the video there. Though we did get quite a bit of stuff done today. We took down lots of bucks and got some of the bad genetics ones out of the herds, while also watching a couple giants die without making it to 5-star, which is a little bit unfortunate. And we even completely lost a herd that I was checking on, and I have no idea where they've gone. But I guess that's all part of the learning curve to this game. We're going to have to try and figure out what we need to do to get some of these giants to actually make it to 5-star, and also to figure out where some of the herds that went missing have actually gone to. But thank you all for watching. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, click that like button, and ring that notification bell so that you guys will never miss any of the future uploads. Also, be sure to leave a comment down below if you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know what you guys want me to do next in Way of the Hunter. With that being said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!